Proper story's supposed to start at the beginning. Ain't so simple with this one. Now here's a kid whose whole world got all twisted, leaving him stranded on a rock in the sky. He gets up, sets off for the Bastion, where everyone agreed to go in case of trouble. Ground forms up under his feet as if pointing away. He don't stop to wonder why. Finds his lifelong friend just lying in the road. Well, it's a touching reunion. He sees what's left of the rippling walls, years of work undone in an instant, in the calamity. That a survivor? No, ma'am. It's a gas fella, forced out from underground. Kid pops him good. Fella got a piece of him, though. Kid just rages for a while. Gotta hold her still to spin up the chamber. Kid's worked up quite a thirst by now, so that fountain looks real inviting. Sometimes you just need a drink. A school of squirts tunnels up around them. Must have fled here from the mines. It's a wonder the old saloon's still standing. Used to have the nicest view. He sets foot inside one of Celandia's famous watering holes. Inside's old Rondi, the bartender. The calamity got him for his drinking debt. Then Kid finds his trusty shield. The security takes him for a petty thief. Rondi always wanted his ashes scattered here. Clang. Shield saves his hide. Windbags start turning up for last call. Squirts start coming out of the woodwork. A big old fella pops out in front of the kid. Kid sees the way to the Bastion out the window. It's a bit of a drop. He gets a good look at things on his way down. He lands on top of a breaker's bow, and it ain't broke. Kid spies a good perch for some target practice. He knows he should draw the string all the way back. The kid pockets a memento from a breaker, once the fastest man in the land. Right back at you. Good news is the emergency defenses still work. Bad news is they're aiming for the kid. Up a few pointers from a dusty old tome. He's a mighty fast learner. He finds the distillery right next to the arsenal. Tough part of town. The arsenal's where the kid can pick the best tools for the job. One sip of the spirits in that distillery, and the kid'll feel like a new man. Some of them squirts birthing like crazy in a couple of corn bins. That one was Maud, the tutor. Once taught the kid good manners. He never used them, though. An old ferry barge sends the kid on his way. The Bastion's real close now. Takes a chunk of alloy. Smell of barley and spoiled blueberries fills the air. Scumbags. Kid maybe shouldn't have done what he just did. Rob's a scumbag of his last meal. Kid puts him out of his misery. Bad time to run out of black tonic. He finds the core to the Wharf District. He steals the city's heart. Might as well. Kid has a feeling he better get a move on. The place is starting to fall. See, that core Kid took was the only thing making this particular rock stay afloat. Kid just keeps running. At last, the Skyway's in sight. Whisks him where he needs to go. Now the kid sees something stranger still. His mind races. Did anybody else survive? Sure enough, he finds another. He finds me. We talk for a spell. There's a bit of the Bastion's power in that crest, enough to point the way to the cores. All I tell him is to set that core of his on the monument there, then watch. I try to let the kid down gently. This is the Bastion, all right, except no one else showed up. And just like that, the Bastion comes alive. Starts growing again, growing stronger. Kid's gotta put its power to good use. Now the Bastion can send him even farther into the wild unknown. Bastion ain't gonna build itself. Well, not entirely. Kid ponders what to build. Makes time to sample spirits from my personal supply. Squirt cider will toughen you right up. Too bad about the musty aftertaste. Kid don't know what's out there waiting for him. The Skyway. Now the kid can ride the wind to distant lands. The Wharf District. Folks sail deep into the boundless sea from here. The breakers used to come here for target practice. Used to play a little game. See who could bust the most targets and the fewest shots. He's focused, he's armed, and he's off. The perfect shot just happens in a flash. He returns with some of the materials we need. Ain't always much to say. Now he lands at the intersection between bad and wrong. Ought to be a core down one of these twisted streets. But which one? He heads for the squirt steps. Won't be no field trip this time. The kid ain't ever seen an elephant squirt before. Scumbag can digest just about anything. Except for this. It's quick for slicing and light enough to throw. They say even the most rambunctious squirts can be tamed. No sign of the core here. At least the kid got something for his trouble. Them squirts just don't know when to quit. He heads for the east side, where windbags used to keep the local forge. Inside the forge, Kid can fine-tune those instruments of his. With a good length of meat gut, that bow's like new again. Kid's lifelong friends looking fit to keep on fighting. Core ain't here neither, so he's gotta guess again. Odd place to find the likes of Percy the Snitch. Never much cared for that big wide grin of his. Keeps telling himself he better watch his step. Up north is where the gas fella foreman used to live, tending to his flock. Gas fellas all dress alike. Kids wondering the same thing. And there it is, but it's locked down tight in an alloy cage. The blustery old foreman's keeping his fellas in check, almost like he's showboating for the crowd. Now there's a new marshal in town. He hears the whole place groan, but it's too tough to fall. Might as well check the other side streets before leaving this hole. He heads for the biggest dump in town, Scumbag Alley. Some scumbag still feeding off the city's own trash. And there he is, the oldest scumbag of them all, Gershel. Calamity ain't done much for Gershel's sunny disposition. Shame old Gershel can't float like when he was a young fella. Kid's ready to go, and his ticket out's right where he started. The rest of the path is gone for good, and his city crest won't bring it back. He comes back, just like I knew he would. The core hums in his pack. The monument's calling for it. The windbags used to be all right. Then the calamity took the floor out from under him. Can't be too careful these days. Kid does it again. Only fair he decides what we build next. A lot of things need fixing up in this world, and we can start right here. Picked up traces of other cores while the kid was out. In better days, the melting pot was sealed tighter than the skin on a squirt. Of all the plans to survive the calamity, it had to be stabweeds. Blasted things hurt like a broken heart. If there's a core, he figures it ought to be deeper down. He cuts down every stabweed like there's gonna be a prize for it. Core stuck inside one of those fancy cages. Some of the stuff lying around is downright dangerous. No breaking a cage like that, but the kid tries anyway. Gotta find a way to spring it open. He throws a switch. Now what could possibly go wrong? Quite a bit, as it turns out. The cage starts lifting from the core ever so slow. All Kid can do is wait. Shipments start falling in. Not every squirt's born bad. Some spring to the kid's defense. Judging by the movement of the cage, it's gonna take a little while. Scumbags don't take kindly to interlopers. Even some gas fellas take his corner. Heard he'd pop that mean old foreman. At this rate, maybe 5 more minutes, maybe 30. Hard to tell. Squirts get real territorial around the core. Then a shipment of free samples shows up. for heavy. It ain't all bad, because the kid finds too spicy for the motherland. That's free. It's a troublesome scene to be sure. Moments left, and the core goes free. 10, 9, 8, 7, give or take a few seconds. Finally, the core's within reach. And done. He's got it. Just gotta get to the nearest barge.
Jojo. Oh. Bastion. Jak se daří, Karlo? Včera jsem se spal se 3 kolegama a s novým manželek.
I still remember the look on his face after that one.
Good for you, I guess.
The old world's finished, but the new world's just getting started.
Co jiného na to říct? Good for you.
Folks voyaged across the boundless sea to found Celandia. It was good living here for a while.
Fang repeater. Ale to je tohleto. To nepoužívám.
Kid packs a special surprise in every one of those arrows.
Zrovna hraju Bastion, což je hra od vývojářů Hades.
Bastion's a place of peace, but we can hold our own if we have to. Bow and machete, every bit as effective as the fancier stuff.
Filipa, moč.
Windbag Ranch was built for gathering squirt extract and copious supply.
Koupil Wisdom, tak to hraju. Nebo ne zrovna teď. Už nějakou dobu zpátky. Ale jelikož toho mám teď dost.
Some folks showed up to make a fast buck, nothing but a knife.
Ale chápeš mi, co myslím.
Other folks came to train their throwing arms.
To jinak, jak se daří tak nějak. Krom toho, co jsem řekl před chvíličkou.
Still others use the place to test their finest blades. Place gets awful slick sometimes.
4 hodiny spám, kratoval. Dobré ráno, ti přeju. Co jako očekovat, že budu dělat. Já jsem se zrovna vrátil ze Slovenska, takže jsem poměrně unavený. A to se dá čekat. Dobře, jak chcete, bych tam došel.
Cuts all of them down soon enough.
Takže tak. Nerozumím. Já si zahrazím je prdel nebo... Tak asi chcípnu.
This world's can be dangerous, like any livestock.
Tak ale já chci přeskočit, proč to nejde? Jsem blbej nebo? A spalo se aspoň dobře? No, konečně. Nebo spíše záhovno.
Kid comes back from Windback Ranch, smelling good and ripe.
Tím pádem to bylo dobré.
The little Zolwood oil and that blade shines like a light.
Tím pádem to bylo dobré. Taky počítám s tím, že za chvíličku prostě usnu. Jsem fakt jako šíleně unavený. Vaše zařízení má nové skvělé funkce, mrkněte na to. No, díky Google, ale nechci, nemám zájem.
Somebody gets to the core before the kid. The floor starts giving way under the lightest step. A single panic squirt could bring the whole place down. Fragments of the old world rain from the sky. Well, the path ain't exactly invisible no more. Security's all fired up. See, the path was intended for leisurely strolling and such. Sky bridges link the path together. One of them bridges whips the kid along. Air travel always was an iffy proposition. The calamity changed everything, even when the wind blows.
Ale ještě nevím, jestli si tu hru vůbec užívám. Jsou takové tím
Well, if we mastered the winds in the old days, we can do it again. But the question is, who else?
Pravé rozhodnutí řeknu, až to dohraju. Prý, co jsem si četl ty reviews. Kamu, jak to je... Jo, toho byla ta jedna z těch věcí, kterou lidi moc neměli rádi, no. Doufám, že ta hra není až tak moc nahlas, že mi to aspoň slyšet dobře u toho. Nebo že hra není tak hlasitá jako já. Nebo víš, jak to myslím.
No, they used to ship live munitions down the path. Find time to find them.
I don't know. No. Okay.
Even gas fellas need some shut-eye from time to time. They get real cranky. It's wise to toss those things plenty far away. In all this toil, Kid keeps coming back to an overwhelming question. Who else could have survived the calamity?
Ale jo, co jsem si četl ty negativní reviews, tak plno lidí si stěžovalo hlavně na tohohle komentátora.
So he didn't find the core that time, but that ain't about to stop us. Sometimes a single look says it all.
Ale zase questy tady stupidní. Nebo spíš challenge.
No place better than Trapper Shingle for learning to tread light and shoot straight. Trappers had to tread real carefully here, else take a nasty fall.
No, já jsem velice straight.
They train themselves by clearing out the targets, while not clearing out the floor. Any good trapper knows never to take a step till the time is right. Most trappers couldn't get through without a few scrapes.
Nebaví. Ano, nebaví mi to, protože mi to najde.
A decent trapper wouldn't walk away empty-handed.
Something nasty. No tak tam je úplně k ničemu. Co je tohleto? Podle těch challengeů je dobrý, když se vrátíš k tomu, až budeš mít vylepšené ty zbraně a takhle.
To
Teď,
think a
když to
rickety
jen zkoušíš,
place
tak
like
to
the
stojí za
shingle
nic.
survived, and so little else did.
Prakticky to je zatím k ničemu.
Turns out those old bones still have some spark in them.
50 damage. Kam dál? Tady. Nevím, co plánuji zahrát dále. Možná to Star Wars, ale bych řekl pravdu, moc se na to netěším. Až tak moc na to nejsem natěšený.
The dead welcome him with open arms. The calamity took everybody after all.
Divinity Megalu. Vím, že se to zahraju, ale nechci to hrát. Zrovna teď.
You don't much care to see him. Not like this.
Nechci moc hrát teď nějakou takovouhle dlouhou hru. Ale slibuju, že se k tomu dostanu.
These folks never saw the calamity coming, but someone did. Someone close. Someone who ain't like Mr. Beckley and his kindly wife.
Takže dejte mu prosím chvilku času.
It was someone like him. Kid sees him there again, in the flesh. It's a snag or two trying to get to him. He ain't about to stop. That's why. Got so many questions after all. Just ain't got time for answers. The Thunder Brothers didn't make it.
Tomu za chvíľku zase bude Humble Bundle. Takže tam také jako dostanu další hry navíc. Teď jsem si sebral ty hry z minulého měsíce. Že jsem ti možná řekl, že byl ten Blasphemous 2. Takže ten si zahraju také. Dost prostě moc a moc věcí. A jako vždycky bych chtěl všechno hrát, ale mám na to tolik málo času. Jako vždycky. Což mě poměrně štve, ale it is what it is. It is what it is.
Just think, without that man, we wouldn't be here right now, would we? The core survives as well.
Nejeli na Slovensku, jelikož můj strýda se ženil. Já jsem šel poprvé na svatbu. A byla to zajímavá zkušenost, bych řekl. Takže jsem poměrně jakoby potěšený, ale cesta na Slovensku a pak zpátky je fakt šíleně unavující. Šíleně. Jsem právě, že v pátek jsme tam jeli v sobotu a v pátek jsem měl odpolední, když jsem přišel domů a pak vždycky po hodině jsem šel spát. A stávali jsme v 5, jenom abych pak zjistil, že budeme vyjíždět v 7 stejně.
He's relieved to see a living face or two. The kid and I introduce ourselves in kind. Both to him and to each other for the first time.
No.
For Zolf, Ceylondia was like a second home. He's real worried about his first home, too.
O, ne, żeby to było nie jak zajímawe, no bo ci to zajímalo.
He was born in the Tazal terminals. The Ura sent him on a mission of peace to our city, and he's lived here ever since. We all lost loved ones in the calamity, he says. I don't know how I'm gonna go on without mine. We fought the Ura decades ago, but that was then. Things are different between us now. Kid ain't finished here yet. The cores, they remember. That's why this place is coming together. That's why things are gonna be all right. Well, look what we have here. The memorial. Here, a kid can pay respect to the old world and earn it in kind. The valediction. Just another one of my sketches. Nothing more. Words can't express what happened, but they're all I got. Fetching fizz is like a mouthful of nails, but the benefits are worth it. That ought to make those fangs sink in nice and deep. The repeater and machete, favorite choices of the Ura hunters we once fought. We tracked down a couple more cores near the edge of the city.
Pójdziemy tady.
No use praying to the gods these days. No time for it either. Pith Orchard. Place is a dead end in more ways than one. Folks used to make pilgrimage here to pay their respects to Pith, the bull. Well, the gods are long gone now, and the orchard core is long gone too. Seems Pith ain't much of a watchdog. Pith stood for something once. Something real. In time, though, the bull stopped being a symbol and started being decoration. The gods don't care about trinkets, but the kid ain't no god. Kid gives that old bull what's coming to him. He couldn't even save his loyal subjects. Pith makes a decent scarecrow at least. Then Pith lights up like a rodeo. Ain't easy punching through his hide. Kid breaks him to bits. Must have been guarding that shrine. So what'll it be? Invoke the gods, or tell them off? Piv. Kid decides to press his luck. Because the gods are alive, they must be plenty sore. Kid ain't never seen windbags that quick. Maybe old Piff put a scare in him. Catch you if you fall. Kid passes Pitt's trial, and he's richer for it. Kid ain't found the core, but at least he found Zolf's precious shrine. Now we can build a shrine of our own, though I got some alternatives in mind. Zolf doesn't touch the thing. Says the god of commotion is no children's toy. The Ura feared the gods. We turned them into toys, put their faces on our walls. The Gravers, the arm of justice. They seemed unstoppable. The accused always got a fair shake in Celandia. Some used to take the bullhead trial. Survive the trial without taking a scratch, you'd walk away a free man. Bullhead trial taught folks three things. First, a good defense is a good offense. Second, Gotta always watch your back. Third, ain't no godlike bull up there gonna save you. Smarter ones knew when to just step aside and let things go. Well, the kid always wanted to compete in the bullhead trial. Turn him round and round all you like. Pit's still gonna be ugly. There's only one way to Cinderbrick Fort. The hard way. Sure, the city marshals may be gone, but now the fort's crawling with windbags. Wham! Kid's ready for the windbags this time. The calamity was mercy for normal folks. The windbags ain't so lucky. Put the kid on notice. They've been left to freeze or starve or face the kid. Well, windbags young and old keep fighting for the fort. At least the marshals left the kid a parting gift. Something the windbags just can't handle. Something that'll punch clean through their greasy hides. Windbags ain't much different from normal folks. All they want's a warm place to stay and a decent meal. The Calamity drove the windbags topside. A lot of them wound up here in this very fort. Could have been minding the business underground like in the old days. So many stairs, somebody's sure to trip. Cinder brick gave them enough heat and metal to munch on for a while. Well, the fort ain't theirs by right. Can't blame them for wanting it, though. So many of those sorry things holed up inside that old fort. Kids blasting everything in sight with that newfangled musket. Kids stash grenades as their form if things get even worse. Security's plane gone haywire. Windbags gummed up the works. Kid ain't afraid of getting burned. They trapped the kid in the middle of the fort's parade grounds. Then they bring out Brutus and Glandon and all their scumbag uncles. They got something to gain. They're sorry big fella soon joins his brother, wherever they are now. The windbags finally get the message. Kid used to dream of getting a marshal's badge, but not like this. And now ain't nothing left for nobody down at Cinderbrick Fort. Kid shows up just as Zulf's telling me about his own journey to the city. Seems the only thing the Calamity saved for Zulf was a smoking pipe. Poor kid collapses after just one drag. The past. Only good thing ever come out of the past is history. Catches up with a kid. Hardly had a moment's rest since all this started. Fair to say he's led a hard life. Supposing what he says in his sleep ain't no lie. He never knew his old man, but he had his mama to take care of. Frail thing with pure white hair like his. Having his mama's hair did the kid no favors while he was growing up, but he learned to hold his own out there. School ain't working out, so the kid signs up for a turn on the rippling walls. Make his mama some money. Thanks to folks like the kid, the walls kept Ceylondia safe from whatever's out there. The elements, the Ura, you name it. the kid done his time, he hurried on home. Turns out his mama's time was done too. The city had nothing for him. The money he'd been sending home was nowhere to be found either. What was I saying? Anyway. So what'd the kid do? Why, he went right on back to the walls for another 5 years. In the history of Caelondia, nobody's ever volunteered for a second shift on the walls. Out there, kid learned to fend for himself, learn to build, learn to break. In time, the kid earned good standing with the marshals. They trusted him to scout out farther than anybody. One night, on one of his expeditions, the ground beneath him shuddered, cracked, and split apart. He saw nothing where the world used to be. The calamity happened just like that. Past don't matter for nothing now. The marshals seem like good men, he says. They treated him with dignity. Zolf brought his antique smoking pipe all the way from the terminals. Even since the Urus surrendered to us, the marshals kept a wary eye on him. Hearty punch is so zesty, it'll let you carry on through the worst of times. The marshals kept the city's peace. They can rest easy now. To tune a scrap musket, you start with the barrel. Zolf's travels ain't much compared to what the kids had to go through for all this. Behold, the Pantheon. A Kobe. The city's unwanted things all met their end in the yard. Folks who fouled up would do their time here, smashing things to bits. The quicker they worked, the sooner they could go. Folks learned to plant their feet and put their backs into it. Others would plot a course to navigate that sea of junk. A good day's smashing can feed a family for a week. pays another visit to the scrapyard for old time's sake. Worked too slow and all you got was a sore back. Some folks invested their earnings to forge even better hammers. Ever want to just smash things for a while? You know where to go. Ain't never letting go of his old friend with a sturdy grip like that. The Langston River flowed free and wild till the calamity drank it all up. Maybe all that water just grew wings and flew off. Riverbanks swarming with windbags. They're so bent on finding the core, they hardly notice the kid. Lucky for him, a certain famous ferry barge is still afloat. Weepin' Nellie. She sends some squirts crying home as she leaves port. Maybe Nellie knows the way to the core. Maybe she can slip right past all the clamor on the coast. Or maybe not. The security skiff pulls up portside. Nellie's just another windbag to those nuns. Just then, the windbags notice who she's sailing with. They're pretty steamed about what happened at Cinderbrick. They try to cut her off. Try to slow her down. They try to knock her out. Well, Weepin' Nellie tries harder. Try as she might, though, she hits a snag. Kid's gotta help her get untangled. Favors for favors. She picked a good spot for a break. The core's right there. Then the kid hears an unusual sound. Like 100 flapping wings. Peckers, they had their own eyes on the core. Why? Finds Weepin' Nellie raring to go. Turns out she's got a special surprise for the waters getting rough. Rest of us only wish we'd fly in times like these. Security skiffs keep on coming, starboard side. Don't seem to care what they shoot, as long as they hit something. The windbag's getting even better out here. It almost falls again. They aim to smash Weeping Nelly to splinters. Kid boards one of them skiffs like some kind of Ceylondian privateer. They don't know the kid's just trying to help. Or maybe they don't care. Well, it all proves too much for poor Nelly. She's just gotta make one last stop. With her last breath, Nelly gets the kid to solid ground. Solid ground in Pecker country. They want that core real bad. Seems the calamity ain't hurt the Peckers' appetites. Kid shoes them off, knowing that we're back. Know how many times Kid nearly fell off the barge back there? 5 times. Now, listen close. You should remember this next part. Why go to Prosper Bluff? Used to take an enterprising man or playful fool to venture out that far. The city was the most beautiful place in the world. We all knew that. But on the other hand, some folks just yearn to see the things they're told they can't. And that's why you go to Prosper Bluff, ain't it? There the kid hears something he ain't heard in a long while. How's it go again? Yeah, that's the one. Well, no point explaining what happens next, right? Suffice it to say, kid ain't coming home empty-handed. And besides, it's like the song goes.
So build that wall and build it strong, 'cause we'll be there before too long. Gonna build that wall up to the sky. Gonna build that wall up to the sky. Someday your bird is gonna fly. Gonna build that wall until it's done. Gonna build that wall until it's done.
They'll be here before too long. We darn near celebrated when the kid got back, didn't we? Zolf never thought he'd see a fellow Ura again. We become fast friends. Calamity has that effect on people. But there was more to be done. There was one last core to find. Kid's surprised when I tell him there's only one core left. I shouldn't have believed it either. The lost and found. Here, kid takes fragments of the old world and makes them whole again. All it takes is some fragments, and the Bastion makes it good as new. The menders, they had thankless jobs, the most important kind. I've asked a lot of the kid, but this is something he's done on his own. Most of the Ura never got a taste of Ceylondia's fine goods, unless they were born and raised in the city like Zia here. Sure, the world's all gone to pieces farther than the eye can see, but leave it to this gal to point out the amazing view. Girl tried to run away from home one time, but the marshals stopped that, didn't they? So many secrets in there and she can't even read it. Her father's own journal. We could always see the stars. We just never could reach them, no matter how high we built. If only I'd known half the secrets of the Calamity were tucked away in that book, I'd have worked to translate it right away. Zolf offers to help me plot the skyways for the kid. At least the Calamity hasn't touched the stars, he says. A scientific journal written in Zolf's native tongue. He learned so much from it. Too much. A sail hammer's only as strong as its spine, and that's a strong spine. His bow's looking lean and mean like a prize fighter. We track the final core beyond the city to the wilds. Always plenty there for smashing. Working the yard did have its risks. Kid decides to keep working his aim and footwork on the shingle. Best time to pick a new spot was when swapping magazines. Finders keepers.
Dneska nechám už. Dneska mi to stačí. Budeme pokračovat zítra. Mějte se. Přeju hezký večer. S bohem. Pa, pa.